Louisiana Beer Review Special Edition Olde English 800 brand malt liquor revisited. It's been 6 years since I did a solo review of this beer, but we have examined this malt liquor 3 different times and we've done duo reviews of it, so I've addressed it. Got a good date, guys, on the bottle. And this is a 42 ounce plastic bottle. Now they say on the website it wears the crown because it's the king of malt liquor. Introduced in 1964 in its current format. Let me see something here. And it did have heritage back before that. It is certified kosher, and this version that I have in Louisiana is 5.9% alcohol. 12 ounces is the serving size, 161 calories. The ingredients are water, barley malt, corn syrup, yeast, and hop extract. I don't have a, naturally people call me when I do these things, I don't have a Olde English 800 glass, so I'll use this Miller Miller Light Schooner or chalice, whatever your preference. So yeah, we get cans in Louisiana, pint cans, 18 ounce clear bottles, glass bottles. We still get glass. In North Louisiana, you can find 12 ounce cans, 12 packs, and most stores around here sell the 42 ounce big banquet size bottles. And they used to make an Olde English 800 high gravity, 8%. I think it's 8% in Canada. Regular Olde English is 8% in Canada. 7.5% on in the western states, Nevada, California, Oregon, and so forth. All right. So you can imagine the scores for this malt liquor are not very high. Clear, bubbly, golden, white head of foam. The aroma, yeah, there's a little skunk from the hops being light struck in this clear bottle. But they'll whiff away. I learned that. Let it set for a minute, it'll go away. So it was an independent company that originally made it. And then I think it was called People's Brewing up there in Minnesota, and then they went out of business, and the brand was bought up by Pabst Brewing Company. But Pabst had to sell it off to Miller Coors in 2001. Well, Miller Brewing Company, SAB Miller, in 2001, because of antitrust reasons when they made their big deal with Pabst. So when Pabst bought, Pabst bought Stroh's, and they were forced to shed some of their brands, and they shed Mickey's, Olde English 800, the Henry Weinhard's line, and Hamm's. They sold that off to Miller. And I think there was a few others that I'm overlooking. And now Miller is owned by Molson Coors, so it's all under the Molson Coors umbrella, all right? It's contracted in Canada by a different company, different brewer. So it smells like bread. Okay. Cornbread, barley bread, or just some sort of bread from grain. I would say that. White bread from some sort of grain, not wheat. Maybe bread crust, a little grassiness from the hops. Let's go with the taste. Cheers. Prickly carbonation. Full body but not heavy. So high, medium, we could say. Fairly crisp finish, not super crisp, not like Miller Light Crisp or Milwaukee's Milwaukee's Best Light Crisp, but something like that. But you know, heading toward that. When I first bought it, this product in 1996, it was made by Pabst, like I said, and it used to say charcoal filtered on the can. I wish I had saved one of those cans. I thought I had, but I guess I didn't. And it was 6%, but after Miller bought it, they dropped it slightly to 5.9. But like I say, if you live in California or Washington State, and perhaps Hawaii, I guess Hawaii and Alaska, it's 7.5. So it's always been that 7.5%. Now, back before the modern introduction in 1964, there was a product in the late 40s, maybe even the 30s, but it was called Ruff's Old English Stout Malt Liquor. Ruff's, R-U-F-F apostrophe S, Ruff's Old English, and it said 800 brand stout malt liquor. And I saw a label, it was hard to read on the internet, but it said 8% alcohol by weight. 8% alcohol by weight. I didn't think they listed alcohol back in those days. Could have been a Canadian label. But it that would be like 9% by volume. Okay, so maybe it really was a stout malt liquor. There's a lady I work with, and I was asking her, why do you drink Bud Light Platinum? I was just curious. I didn't care. But she said, didn't these used to have a cold indicator on these? Well, let me think about this for a minute. Yeah, they used to have a thing on here where it would turn blue if it was cold. I noticed they took that off. Okay. She said, I like a stout beer. And she did not mean like Guinness. She meant strong beer. I like a stout beer. I like a beer with body and flavor. I said, okay. And that would be the case for Bud Light. Yeah, really light. Not really. 6% Bud Light Platinum. Now, the advantage for that one is that it's 6%, but it's much lower calories. I think 137 calories. So you're getting a good trade-off. They also add cane sugar to it, or cane syrup. I think they call it cane syrup. It's like syrup made from cane sugar. So I don't know how that would come across for people. But it's kind of like corn syrup. They're just using it as a something to convert into alcohol. So how do we assess this ultimately? If you look on Beer Advocate, and bitterness, low. 1 out of 5 hop cones. Maybe 1.5 because I'm getting a little tingle of the grassy hops there at the end. But it ain't much. It might be hop extract that they're using. They say hops, right? Oh no, hop extract. I read it. Yeah, but that's right. But I knew that already. Yeah, hop extract. It's like a syrup made from hops. So this thing is using lots of syrups. And actual barley. But that's just the case for it. It's an inexpensive product. It's $2.39 for this bottle. Before the certain events of March 2020, used to run $1.99 for these bottles all day long. This Magnum and Steel Reserve 211, 6% here were at $1.99. Magnum was discontinued, but we still can see mucho amounts of Old English 800 and Steel Reserve side by side in the cooler. They always run the same price. Steel Reserve being 6%. Not the same flavor as Steel Reserve 211, 6% now. Similar flavor. That one's a little crisper. This one's a little sweeter and, like I say, a little more syrupy. Sweetness, I'll say 3 out of 5 sugar cubes. So it's a relatively sweet beer. It's pretty easy drinking. It's not the greatest thing. I never thought it was. But it's pleasant enough. I'm not a regular drinker of it. Honestly, I just do not drink it regularly. Most of my standby beers these days are light beers, such as in typically Milwaukee's Best Light. Crisp, clean, easygoing, has flavor. Doesn't go down heavy, and good standby beer. But this is a nice change of pace. So how would I score Olde English 800 brand malt liquor? Malt liquor, always malt liquor. I think it's good. Might have preferred it back in the old charcoal filter days under Pabst, but those days are gone. Yeah, it's good. The 8%'s a little tough to take. I don't know what Canadians think about Olde English 800. They're getting a different product. Yeah, I'll go with a B. 86 out of 100. 8.6 out of 10. A B, a good beer. And I'm going to end this review by saying y'all go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and take a Miller brewery tour.